For my second cultural interaction, I did it with the same student I did last week, which was Eric from Beijing, China. This time I asked him to decide what we could do, and he decided that he wanted to come over and make me dinner. And I definitely told him that we needed to make it a little bit more about the individual cultures. So he decided he wanted to show me a little bit about his culture through food. He came over and he brought out different groceries. It was chicken, broccoli, carrots, rice, and the sauce. He called it Lucky Sauce, which is what his mom called it back at home. He said he was going to make me his favorite stir fry that his mother usually makes him back at home. I was excited about this culture interaction because I really just want to learn more about Eric and his culture. And the first interaction, he was a little bit closed off, and I felt he was getting more comfortable towards the end, but we ran out of time to learn more about him and his culture. As he was cooking, Eric was making the moves quickly. He was focusing only on cooking. It wasn't really distracted by any outside objects such as like music, or if the TV was on, he just really was focused on his task. While he was cooking, I asked if his mother usually always made the dinners and at home, and he said yes, that his father usually works late and his mother usually has food waiting for them when they get home. I also asked if this was the cultural norm back in China, if this was how his friends' families were, if the mother usually just made the food and the father worked late, and he said yes, it was a culturally wide thing that the father usually works late and the mother makes the dinner and has it ready for them when they get home. I also asked Eric if he wanted any help, and he said no, that it is usually, if one person's doing anything, like such as cooking or cleaning, it is usually the one person doing it. Here was a little different from us because back in my family, we usually split up tasks. If we're cooking, one will peel the potatoes, one will get the chicken ready, and if we're cleaning, one will vacuum. So at this point, I realized it was a little culturally different in that aspect. After the food was done, we sat down and ate, and at this point I talked to Eric about his different schooling and his family. And the one thing that really surprised me that he told me was that the math and sciences that we take now here at Michigan State and college are the ones that he already took in high school. And this surprised me extremely because the math and sciences that have been taking the past 2 years here have been hard. And I don't think that I would be able to take those in high school. It's just a little bit different culturally because he's just taking the classes, reviewing what he already learned. And this was a definitely different culture from here in America because those are college level courses here, and in China they are high school level courses. So that was definitely one culturally different thing that had to do with school. During this interaction, I learned about the different cultural differences in the schools, and also in cooking and splitting up tasks, and that the father usually worked late and the mother usually had dinner ready. I hope to continue to learn more about Eric as he keeps getting more comfortable with me and opening up, and I hope to also learn more about their cultural differences between families and more about the school and the food, just as a cultural as a whole.